And girls, for today, Drew, for writing and language arts, you should have read Should Sweets Be Banned from School Birthday Parties? Now, your task today is to create something called a T chart, which we actually already have over here. But since you don't have a printout of this article, we're going to just make our own T chart in our writer's notebook. So I want you to take out your writer's notebook right now and find a new page. And what we're going to do is we're going to be making a T chart that looks like this over here. And we're going to be jotting down reasons for two different sides. So one side is yes, we should have this ban on sweets from class parties. And then the other side would be no, we should not ban sweets from class parties. So we're going to create a T chart in our writer's notebook first before we move on to our next part of our writing lesson. So I'm going to use this interactive whiteboard. I'm going to pretend this is my writing notebook. You're going to use your own writing notebook to do this. Please don't do this on a Google Doc because you have to use a pencil for this, okay? So take out your writer's notebook and turn to a fresh new page. Now, I want you to draw a big, large T. And what I like to do is I like to create a vertical line, a really long one going this way. I know it's not straight. I'm using my mouse. So I apologize. And then I'm going to draw a vertical line going from top to bottom. Okay. Now, what I like to do is I like to always write down the question that we are finding the information about. Now, since this is about should sweets be banned from school parties, I'm going to write that down on the top of my T chart just to remind myself what on earth are we writing information about. So, should sweets be banned from school parties? Should schools ban sweets from class parties? Question mark. So I want you to write that on top of your T chart. Should have had you do that first. I apologize. Um, After that, I'm going to be, since we have two columns over here, and since this is a T chart, one side's going to be yes, we should definitely ban those sweets from class parties, and the other side would be no, we shouldn't ban those sweets from class parties. So I'm going to type yes here, and then I'm going to type no here. All right. So anytime you're writing an opinion essay or any sort of opinion writing, I want you to create a T chart for yourself. T charts help you kind of map out all your reasons. And after you're done, you take a look and you're like, oh, I'm going to choose this side because these reasons are more, attractive to you. These reasons seem to me more reasonable. So always create a T chart before you choose an opinion because this may help you make your final decision. Now, I know a lot of you, before you even started to read, you probably had your own opinions like, oh man, I love sweets and I don't think we should ban them for any reason. So, a lot of you probably came in before reading, you came in with an idea of which side you're going to choose. But some of you, after reading it, your opinions may change, and that's the point of this, okay? So, we're going to map out reasons for yes and reasons for no. So I'm going to do one example for each column, and you're going to do two on your own. We want to do at least three, okay? Because we're trying to shoot for a essay, and we need more than one reason to justify this whatever side we choose, okay? So for yes, what I like for you to do is draw a bullet point over here and draw a bullet point over here for now. So we're going to have three reasons, right, for each column. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So 6 reasons total, 3 for team yes, 3 for team no. Okay? Now, what I like to do is for this assignment, I don't want you to use your own reasons. I want you to use what the text says because I mean, Scholastics is a really famous, popular, magazine company, and everything they're saying here is pretty reasonable. A, it's written really well. There's a lot of truth to it. So I want us to prove something using a source, and this source is this Scholastics article, because sometimes when you have your own reasons and you're trying to explain something to someone, people may not always believe you. But if you can let them know where you got this information from, people may kind of like, oh, that's from Scholastic. Okay, I believe you. So we're going to use this source, this Scholastic article, instead of our own opinion and our own reasons to justify our answers. Okay. So let's look at back to our T chart. So yes, schools should ban sweets from class parties. Now, one reason that stuck out to me when I was reading this was over here. It said that 1/3 of American kids are overweight or obese. That's a good amount of kids that are overweight. That's kind of serious. So for me, I'm like, oh yeah, that should definitely be a good reason why we should not have sweets um, at school. So I'm gonna write this down over here, and you can do the same bullet point as me because I'm gonna do one for each column. You can copy it because we're all reading the same article. So for yes, I'm gonna write, well, if schools ban sweets from class parties, it can help improve the health of American kids because over here they're talking about 1/3 of them are overweight. That's kind of scary. So that's my first reason, okay? Now, I'm going to give you some time to write two more reasons why schools should ban sweets from class parties. And I want you to go back to the text and find two more good reasons and make sure they're not the same as this one. They can be similar, but you don't want to have the same reason over and over again because it becomes repetitive, okay? So find two different ones for column yes. Okay, I'm gonna give you some time. You can pause the video as you're doing this, okay? All right, we're gonna fast forward. Hopefully you finish writing all your bullet points for yes. Make sure you have three, okay? So for no, no, we should not ban sweets from class parties. So if you are in team no, you are choosing reasons why it should not be banned. And we want those sweets in our classrooms, okay? Now, one thing that stuck with me was this part of the article where it's talked about, the parents are grumbling about, I want my kids to be healthy, but, it's tradition. And it makes me sad to think that, my kids will miss out on something that they should be enjoying at this age. So that's a very valid reason in my opinion. I think that's a great reason. So I'm gonna type that out. You can write this down. It's an important tradition to celebrate with sweets. And, I agree to some extent that we should be celebrating with sweets because it's always been like that. So we have one reason for team no or column no, okay? Now I'm going to give you some time. You can pause this video and write down two other reasons that you found in this article that show why we should not ban sweets from class parties, okay? So write those two down. After you're done writing those two, I want you to go back to your learning at home schedule and we're going to go over on how to write an introduction. Now, actually, before that, I forgot to mention this. After you write your 6 reasons, because you're going to have 6 reasons total, you have 3 on this side and 3 on this side. I want you to take a look. Take a look at the big picture. I want you to think about which side are you going to argue for. So even though you may have your opinions before reading this article, I want you to take a look at your 3 reasons for yes and 3 reasons for no. I want you to think, man, these reasons really make me believe that, schools should ban sweets from parties or no, they shouldn't. So I want you to choose which side you're on. For me, I am going to be choosing, sorry kids, you're gonna hate me, but I'm team yes. So I'm gonna write my 2 other reasons a little later. I don't want to write them now because I want you to do it yourself, but I am definitely on team yes after reading this article. So don't be mad. This won't change anything about our classrooms, but after reading this article, I'm definitely on Team Yes. So after you finish writing your 6 reasons, choose a side. I want you to circle your side in your writer's notebook and then go back to your learning at home template schedule on Google Classroom or wherever your teacher shows you their schedules. Okay? All right. Peace out.